We are seeing some very emotional tennis today at the U.S. Open, but only James Blake knows the heart and soul that went into this win today over Greg Rusedski that places him in the second round of the U.S. Open, and he joins us now in our studios. After the match, you said you were trembling. You pointed up in the crowd to a couple of sections filled with people. Who were those people who supported you?
Those are the people that have been with me since I was in high school, since I can remember, since I was a nobody. And it's so much fun to give back to them, let them have a great time, and they all helped me and gave back to me when I was down. I told them after the match, every one of them at some point either cooked me dinner, played cards with me, went out and had a fun night, and gave me a great story the next day. They just picked me up when I was down, and now I'm doing my best to give back to them.
Not everybody knows what happened to you. What happened the day you got injured?
The day I got injured first, I actually fractured a vertebrae on my neck. So I broke my neck for all intents and purposes.
How did that happen?
I was running for a drop shot in practice with Robbie Ginepri, and the clay was a little sticky, and my foot just stuck when I tried to slide right at the end of it. And I was going full speed, my foot stuck, and I just went head first into a net post, and the net post didn't budge, but it fractured a vertebrae on my neck, and I was lucky enough to turn my head at the last second, so it hit there and fractured vertebrae down there. They said the force I was going, for sure, if I hit the top of my head, I wouldn't be walking again, so I found a silver lining in that pretty easily. I
mentioned earlier, and you say you remember it, but I'm sure it's a blur. I met you and Andy before he won the U.S. Open, and I remember thinking, boy, the future's so bright for you guys. You're just going to go take over the Open. You're going to take over the world, and then suddenly your lives took that tragic split. Did you feel sorry for yourself when this happened at first or not?
No, like I said, I found a silver lining really quickly when they told me that I could have been paralyzed for the rest of my life. They told me I'm going to get better, and that was enough for me. I was sitting in the hospital room with my coach, who's also one of my best friends, Brian Barker, and we made a decision that day, the day it happened, to say, you know what, there are two ways we can look at this. We can laugh about it or we can cry about it, and it's a whole lot more fun to laugh about it. So we just started saying, you know what, this is crazy. I just broke my neck today, and I got to call home and tell my friends and tell my family that I broke my neck, but I'm going to be okay. So we just laughed.
Long road back. You beat Greg Rusedski today, and I swear I saw him looking at you as if he wanted to root for you too when the match was over. Let's go back. First set. The first two sets were really, really tight. We've got some of the key points here as you get set to do battle in very, very humid, hot conditions.
Yeah, it was a little sticky out there, but with Greg, you're going to play some short points. I think that was a set point in the first.
Come on, that's beautiful.
That was a little lucky that it gave me a chance to get back in that point. I'm just trying to use my speed any way I can and use my forehand there, but he's a guy that's going to win a lot of free points on his serve, so once you start getting looks, if you can make a few passing shots and put some pressure on him, it can make a big difference, and it did in those key moments, in the first and second set, 7-5 and 7-6, I came through with some big forehands and put a little pressure on him.
When your life changes the way yours has, I'm sure you will take it one match and one day at a time. So overall, I know you're going to tell me just the next match, we'll worry about Andreev next, but what are your dreams like now? How have things changed? One day you dreamt of coming here and winning this thing.
Yeah, every 10-year-old that picks up a racket dreams of coming here and winning, especially since I've been a fan of this tournament for so long, and I still am a fan of this tournament. I love watching, coverage on USA every day, whether I'm here or not. That's why I said I was sitting at home watching it last year, and it is still a dream for me to win it, and I know now that I'm back to the level where I can play with the big boys, the Rogers, the Andys, the Leightons, and the Marats, so I'm feeling like it's a possibility, and now I just want to go out and see if I can prove it, but I'm also fortunate enough just to be doing what I love, and hopefully I'll have quite a few years to do it. I know it's not just one match isn't going to make or break my life.
And you being on the court dramatically changes the emotion with the fans, so they're going to be lifting you along in the second round. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
James Blake winning today over Greg Rusedski, a seeded player. When we come back in this